Gabe's here from Tim Hortons. What the f is a Tim
Yep.
Hortons, by the way?
You don't
I
know
should not ask
you
questions before having my headphones on.
don't know what Tim Hortons is?
Nope.
Oh,
Ow.
uh, tell Gabriel that when you get in here.
I'll ask him. Ow. Also, I promised I would bring it. Hey, Gabe, so what is a Tim Hortons?
It's basically like Starbucks, but way cheaper and Canadian.
And
Okay,
that's
so it's
on
just a
God. It's
Canadian
also better.
Starbucks.
It's way
Okay.
better than Starbucks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Breaking Points, giving you motorsports coverage beyond the checkered flag. And this podcast specifically, just NASCAR coverage beyond the checkered flag, where we have breaking news. Finally, some good breaking news. Biggest one of them all, Ryan Preece. I'm joking, that's not the biggest one. But we will talk more about Ryan Preece's extension at a later time. But he extends with RFK. So now Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece have extended. What does that mean for Brad Keselowski? Good question. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Priest drives a leased charter from Rick Ware. So I'm wondering how that's going to roll when Rick Ware itself is going to be a completely different team by year's end. And the fact they want to sell that charter that they're leasing, which is the whole essence of the problem. So it could imply that Brad is out of the door, but he's also got on record to say he's not going to be retiring. So it implies that they have a plan, but
But wait,
whatever
he
it
also
isn't.
pause. But Brad also implied, actually said in a press conference I was in, read it on breakingpoints.com. I don't remember where it was, but it was the Brad Keselowski presser. He literally said that if it came down to it and they couldn't get a third charter, he would step out. Like, I wish I still had the email. I deleted it forever ago because it was back in like March. But he said that if it came down to it and they could only get two charters, he would step down. I didn't write about it because that wasn't my question. But why would I write about someone else's question? That's not my thing. I had my own question to ask. I had my own prerogative, my own story to write. I'm not going to steal someone else's question. That's unethical. Gabe, go ahead. I kept cutting you off.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Brad is obviously he could look to a part-time ride, and it doesn't just because he doesn't have full-time ride doesn't mean he can't still do like part-time schedule on like a third part still, but like just not like every race. So that's just what I'm thinking. Obviously, Priest earned that extension, in my opinion. So I think it's a good overall good deal. It's a 1 year extension of the current deal, so it is what it is.
I, for one, am happy to continue seeing this prank war go on. I am in love with it. It's great content. Please tell me you guys have been keeping up with it.
I have not been keeping up, unfortunately. Even though one of those two guys is the one I cheer for.
Brother, visit Prosper, Texas. It was a billboard in Atlanta with a mile countage to how far it is to get to Prosper, Texas.
Well, I remember that. We talked about that. I didn't realize it was a part of the ongoing prank war, though.
Oh, yeah. And then Chris's response to that was to wrap Ryan Preece's car in like pink and flowers. They put some like dice in the mirror. They put wraps on like the windows. And this is a rental, I'm pretty positive. And they wrapped the car. That was his response. And he drove it up to the hauler where Ryan was doing an autograph signing. And he's like, that's not my car. Wait, that's my car. I don't want this to end. I need this to keep going. Like, I don't know what they're gonna keep doing, but they need to keep doing it. Next piece of breaking news. Wait, what was I know there was the Alex Bowman one, but I feel like there was another one. Or
Jimmy
am I
Johnson.
stupid? Besides that one, that kind of goes hand in hand. I totally thought there was another one. Nick Sanchez. That's what it was.
Yeah.
5 more races. Nick Sanchez. Actually, is that even breaking news anymore?
It was officially announced. So, yeah.
On a Wednesday. Or a Tuesday, probably, knowing our luck. Yeah, so Nick Sanchez, 5 more races with Patterson Racing. Yippee! But also, wait, so is he not doing the full chase?
No, he is not. Well, at least he hasn't been announced to be doing it yet.
We'll see. Because I think we've only got 2 more O'Reilly's races until the chase. I think I remember them saying that. 2 or 3. I know there's 4 or 5 for Cup. And I also think 2 or 3 for trucks. Is resident fact checker fact checking me?
I was not fact checking this, but there's a piece of sad news that came out from the NASCAR world over this weekend. It was confirmed yesterday that the first winner of the Talladega race in NASCAR history, Richard Brickhouse, died on July 24th. He was 87. That was his only career win, that 1969 Talladega race. That was infamous for its tire failures and them allowing Grand National, or I should say the modern equivalent of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars into the race to fill the car count, because there was only going to be 4 cars that day. So, but that's besides the scope of this. Richard Brickhouse passes away.
I mean, rest in peace, first of all. But then you also got me stuck being like, imagine saying like where you finished in that race. And you're like, oh yeah, of the full-time cars, like I finished last, but I was also technically 4th. Because would they have counted all the O'Reilly's cars as like the official standings?
So I have 2 fun facts about this race that are pretty funny. So this was before the era of like electronic scoring. So people each lap had to keep track of obviously each car's position. You'd think it'd be pretty easy with only. Actually, I take that back. It was 3 Cup cars that were in this race out of 45. They keep track of. Only 2 of which were actually going at a race-winning pace. There's another one that kind of tallied back. It was Brickhouse and Jim Vandiver. There was a scoring error. They managed to mess it up. Despite the fact there were only 2 cars going for the win. And up until the day he died, Jim Vandiver vouched that he won that race and was only credited with the loss because the new Dodge Daytona that debuted that race with the huge wing on the back, Dodge paid them handsomely to take that race win.
Oh, we're never getting out of the bribery, are we?
That's the first factoid. The second is that the champion that year, Bobby Isaac, finished behind one of the Busch cars because he was just taking it easy for a good points day. That one driver who finished ahead of Bobby Isaac was Richard Childress.
Hey, love that. Love that for him. Imagine saying you lost to Richard Childress. That's kind of funny, though.
A lot of people lost to Richard Childress, in all fairness.
But I'm saying in that race specifically, of like the one car that you didn't pass. Besides, obviously, the other Cup cars. Anyways, Alex Bowman, we've kind of teased it a couple seconds ago. We're gonna start with the good news. He announced a 1-year extension. Bad news, he's retiring after that. I am scared. I don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for right now. I mean, we kind of know who it's going to be. Like, I mean, there's really only two people that could be taking the 48 afterwards. But I am more concerned about, since Jimmy Johnson is going to be taking the 48 for his final Daytona 500, which, why does Alex Bowman not get to race his final full-time Daytona 500 in his number? But alas, I would rather have Jimmy Johnson in that car because Jimmy Johnson in the 48 is iconic. Beyond the point, what number would Alex Bowman drive? I've seen people say that he would probably be in the 25 because that's all that Hendrick owns. But I feel like it would be kind of funny if Jimmy Johnson then let Alex Bowman do the 84. That'd be kind of funny, I think. Like, just be like, hey, let's swap numbers for this race. Like, haha. I don't know. Thoughts? Prayers, guys?
I think the rumors I've seen have been either they'll take Bowman will race the 55 because he always did that in dirt racing, and that was kind of his number, or it would be the 88, and they would take it from Trackhouse for a race.
Then what is Connor driving? This is just a domino effect. If he takes the 88, then what is Connor taking?
The domino ends there because Trackhouse have the 87 and a 91.
Yeah, you're right. But what if Connor didn't want
to? Then Connor, you're not racing in 2027.
Yikes!
No, I'm kidding.
That's a blow.
But if I had to guess, he would probably be in the 87 for that one race, then it'd be back to normal.
I still think it'd be funnier if he was in the 84, he being Alex Bowman. I still think that would be hilarious. Gabe, you got thoughts? You're quiet.
Yeah, obviously I'm quiet. I'm in the middle of a Tim Hortons, but regardless, yeah, I think it's rough. He had a few injuries here and there from 23. Missed 3 races. 20 this year, missed 4 races, and obviously hasn't really been like the de facto championship contender that some people thought he would be. So yeah, a shame, but still, despite not having a chip so far, I think it's a career to look back on and be proud of. So wish him all the luck, I guess.
All right. So that's technically all of our breaking news. But if you've been watching our older episodes, aka the last 3 weeks, we have been hyping up a certain episode, aka we are recording and it's Sean's birthday. Yay. You need to go get another drink.
Oh, no, there's no way. I have to be up early.
You'll go to sleep really quickly afterwards. Trust me.
I'm afraid this will be enough for me. Tomorrow night is going to be the night where I actually kind of go crazy. But
you see, he's going to be listening to this Breaking Points podcast tomorrow night while he and his friends throw a raging party. I'm joking. I'm so joking.
I'm not playing music through the speakers. I'm playing the Breaking Points NASCAR podcast through the speakers. For peak promotion, as a drop comes up, I'm going to be playing the intro of "Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Breaking Points NASCAR podcast."
That's not what that's not the intro.
And then it's going to be a fake drop, and then the actual drop is going to be. It's going to be like a fart.
I have to bleep that. I have to bleep it. Anyways, no animosity towards the old company. We legally have to say that.
And that is also completely a joke. I'm still in touch with plenty of them, so.
Oh yeah. I still talk with them. I'm still in the chat. I still play against them in fantasy. I just lost to them in the World Cup sweepstakes. Anyways, truck race. Gabe, take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. Um, Lane Riggs obviously started off in pole. Um, bas- I'm just gonna say this right away. Lane Riggs dominated this race. Led all but 2 laps. Um, should have led all the laps, but wheel spin at the start of stage 2. Kind of lost in the 2 laps, but the rest of it was basically domination. Behind him, in the first stage, it was Eckes um, and Chandler Smith, and then Connor Mozak, Nick Sanchez, Tatum Honeycutt, and all that. Um, Obviously, by the end of stage 1, it was heartbreaker for Christian Eckes, who had power steering issues, voltage issues, and all of that. Um, Second stage, nothing happened. I'm gonna be honest, like literally nothing happened except for Eckes retiring. And then at the end there, it started off again Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, but this time Lane Riggs just blasted off. If you look at the race report I wrote, you're gonna see that I ran out of ways to say the phrase um, turned on the afterburners. So I had like many variations of saying he turned on the afterburners and just got out of Dodge. That's basically it. He just got out of Dodge every single time. Um, Chandler Smith definitely couldn't hold on. Um, Obviously didn't hold on much either. He finished fourth. It was an all right race for him. Second, Connor Mozak. Third, I believe it was Tamajeski, and fifth, our friend Nick Sanchez. I love Nick Sanchez. Um, Great race from him. Great race, but great race all around for Lane Riggs as well. 70, 60 points maximum.
I for one would love to read this race report, Gabe. Where can I read it?
On the
Mid-drink.
breakingpoint.com.
Are you sure about that?
Whatever.
Are you sure about it?
I'm like 200%
Oh,
sure.
you just posted it.
I'm 200%
I didn't reload
sure.
my page. Yeah. So I watched the highlights, and just like Gabe said, it was straight just Lane Riggs, or I mean, what's his name? Lane Van Rigsbergen, right? Um,
Yes.
I still hate that. I still hate it. But yeah, nothing happened. Our picks didn't do well, which I mean, we kind of guessed. Not even our honorary pick. However, I will say that our honorary pick did do better than one of our normal picks. So that's kind of unfortunate. Sean, is there anything you want to talk about with this truck race, or do you want me to just cut to the chase?
I mean, personally, I can cut to the chase by talking about the standings. I'm going to butt in with my own little segment. So I just want to say the only reason I'm doing this is because NASCAR.com did a good thing for the first time ever. And that good thing was highlighting what drivers clinched a chase spot. This makes it so much easier to remember. So I can finally talk about the entire top five, that being Lane Riggs, Caden Honeycutt, Chandler Smith, Christian Eckes, Gio Ruggiero, in that order, have all clinched chase spots. Now we go down to 6th through 10th. We have Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes, Grant Enfinger moves up to 8th. Going down to the cut, Daniel Hemrick is at 9th, Stuart Friesen at 10th. Tyler Ankrum is the first one out. He is 8 points back. And then Jake Garcia is in 12th.
Friend of the old pod needs to step it up.
And maybe if he was a friend of the current pod, it would have been fine.
Wait. Fireworks! So, for our picks. It is very unfortunate for me to say that Corey LaJoy was our highest. So, Yeah, Sean, congratulations. Happy birthday. That is the only one you get. And I wish I could say that the rest of your picks were great. They are not.
Sorry for the listeners. What I did was impersonate that very, very sad SpongeBob picture, if you know what I'm talking about. I did a very sad expression after Bailey said that sentence.
Ay. So, Corey LaJoy. Then Connor Daly, which was 26. So you weren't that far off. I wasn't that far off from you. Then we had Spencer Boyd, who everyone had to root for, unfortunately. 28. And Gabe, I am very sorry. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Maneko? I don't know. It was the dude who was debuting, I think.
Yes.
Fire. 36th place. So, yippee. That was a truck race, which was kind of a snooze fest, not gonna lie. But what wasn't really a snooze fest, well, kind of at points, but it was actually really interesting in my opinion. Way more interesting than the cup race, but I'm not gonna talk about that. So, the O'Reilly's race. We never actually got to do the thing that I said we should do. I have literally been saying since like episode like six or seven, I think. No, that was an unintentional one, I swear to God. From our earlier episodes, I said we should guess when like all these people get their first wins. One of those was Carson Quaffle. So I hate to break it to everyone, but none of us got it right. Carson Quaffle wins Indianapolis. And why do I say none of us won that? Because we never actually did it. We just kept saying we'll do it next week, and we never did. So, yippee. He wins Indianapolis in quite a controversial fashion, specifically at the end of the race, which I want to get y'all's opinion on that. Burnout over the bricks. Yes or no? Wow, Gabe, I love speaking to a wall of bricks.
Yeah, I'll let Gabe go first. That was wordplay. That was funny.
Thank you. I try to be a comedian.
That ain't it. It just ain't it. You know, do it somewhere else.
Okay, Gabe says no. Sean, what do you say?
I say no. I mean, I get it's a part of the racing surface, and if cars crash, they'll go over the bricks. But the whole point is that they race over them, and that is a race-torn surface. Doing burnouts on them, specifically to gloat on a track that prides itself on tradition, is not something you should be doing.
I also agree in the fact that I would say no, except the fact that this specific instance I don't think was on purpose. He has said that he had his radio unplugged, so he didn't hear it, and he forgot. I know forgetting is not an excuse. However, at least he didn't do straight circles right on the bricks. I think it was like one tire line on the bricks. So it could have been worse. There has been worse done. Not to say like I'm currently wearing his shirt, but Jimmy Johnson did this. I'm pretty sure he did a burnout like right on the bricks. I don't remember when. I want to say it was like 2012 or something. Sometime I was still watching, I'm pretty sure. But alas, there have been people who have done it on purpose. This specific one, though, I don't think was on purpose. So, I think he gets a slight pass. Also, because I'm pretty sure he was crying in his car. I mean, who wouldn't be crying when they win their first race? Also, I don't think he's letting his dad come to the races anymore. Did y'all see that?
No, what?
Oh my God. So his dad was with his brother doing another race, which his brother also won the late model race. And I think it was one of the commentators, like right after Carson won, they were like, oh, his dad's not going to be allowed to come to the racetrack anymore if it brings this luck. Because I think for the earlier parts of the season, he's been at almost every race. So like this is one of the first ones where he wasn't there. And they were like, oh, Carson's not going to let his dad show up anymore. I thought it was funny. But I mean, he was also there for his brother winning, so. Why do you look like you want to say something, Gabe?
I don't have anything to say.
Oh, rude. Okay. Well, Sean, what did you just say? You were saying something, but you were silent.
I was going to say that he should do this thing called favoritism and only go to Caden's races. Just because obviously Caden wins if he's at Caden's races, but if you're not at Carson's races, he wins. So it's a win-win, maybe a win-lose when we're talking about family relationships, but definitely a win-win when it comes to racing career.
Exactly. See, Sean needs to be given more racing advice. Hire him.
If you have any cash to spare, I'll buy it into a regular ride or something.
Yo, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I don't remember which team it is, but there's a team in NASCAR where you can pay, I think it's only a couple $100 and you can design like a section of the car. Or like decide if you want to put like your logo on it, if you want to put a random picture on it. My friend did it and she put her cat on it. She's like, I don't care. I just want to put a picture of my cat on this dude's car. I'm like, and it was raced? And she's like, yep. I saw a picture of it. I just don't remember who the driver was right now off the top of my head. And I don't have Discord open. Plus, this was a conversation like a year ago. I'm not finding it anytime soon right now. We text too much. But back to the actual race. Sheldon Creed was on pole, disappeared, no clue where he went. Sam Mayer was also up there, disappeared. I don't know what was up with the Haas cars, like at all. They were okay, and then they weren't very quickly. But most of the action, from what I remember, actually came from pit road. I mean, there was a couple people tagging the walls, but that wasn't really what was interesting. It was more of the amount of 3 and 4 wides that were going on. Because I was like, I could have swore that everyone complained that these cars were too big to do 3 wide, let alone 4. But dang, it was like every other move, someone was 3 and 4 wide. It was insane. Did either of you guys watch it?
Fortunately, I did not watch the race.
Fortunately.
Unfortunate. I said unfortunately.
Oh, so it cut out the un. I was about to be like, fortunately, I'm willing to bet this one was more interesting simply because of the action that was going on track. But this is very fun because one of us won. Haha, one of us won. I did. Guess whose random wheel pick was Carson Kvapil? I know, I said boo when I first got it. I'm aware. But boo yourself. You had Nick Sanchez. I will also have you know that Nick Sanchez finishing in 20th was your highest of the weekend. But, Gabe, you're on the podium with me, my guy. You had Ross Chastain. So
Let's go.
Yeah, so substantially better in the O'Reilly's race compared to the trucks race. But hey, 2 of us are on the podium, baby. But that being said, Sean, I know there was a very interesting shakeup in the standings. So please
Yes, there was. So Justin Allgaier obviously still first, but Carson Gvoppel moves up 3 spots to get second in the points. Jesse Love, Sheldon Creed, Corey Day subsequently each moved down 1 spot. Brandon Jones in sixth, Austin Hill in seventh. Those are the drivers who have locked their way into the chase now. Going 8th through 12th here, Sammy Smith, Parker Retzlaff, Sam Mayer are in a decent bubble on their own. Then Brent Cruz, Taylor Gray are in 11th and 12th. Sawalich with a top 5 run moves up to 13th, only 7 points away from his teammate, and then Raja Karuth in 14th.
Nice. Do we want to have like a guess of who we think is actually gonna do those? Because I feel like that. Yes, they talk about the fight in the truck series, but I don't think the cutoff chase is that. Like, it doesn't seem like it's that close. But during the O'Reilly's race, and maybe it's because I was watching the O'Reilly's race very closely, they had like a running graphic for a good like 30 minutes of just the cut line and how every single person moving adjusts the entirety. Do we want to guess who we think is going to take the last spot?
It's going to be Jeremy Clements.
What?
No, I'm kidding. It's going to be Taylor Gray.
I want it to be, I don't know who's going to be in the last spot, but I want William Sawalich in. I'm saying it. Gabe, who are you manifesting in there?
I mean, are we talking about like one driver outside of the cut line? Like,
or either one driver in or the driver that's just in on the cut line in 12th.
all right. I mean, you know what? I'm pulling for Roger Cooper. Like, you know, quote unquote friend of the program. But
friend of the old program.
I think like he can make it. Like a little bit, obviously a little bit of instability moving between 2 rides. Obviously Walpole is doing that, but not at the level that Roger Carruth has to deal with. You know, like the skill of the cars, what not skill, golly. How do you say it? The performance level of the car is different. So
yeah.
All in all, I'm just saying I think Roger Carruth can make
something happen.
Did you not hear what I said?
Nope, you just went completely silent, so I finished your sentence.
All right, nah. All I said was like I'm just pulling for Roger Carruth. Like I am pulling for Roger.
Then who is one person who's not locked in that we think is making it in? I feel like I have to go with the obvious and say Brent Cruz. Because I'm not saying Parker Retzlaff. I don't think he's locked in. Or who is the one that's not locked in? It's like, but they're like 100 points above the cut. Is it
Sammy
Parker?
Smith, Retzlaff, Mayer, Cruz, and Gray are the ones who are in, but not locked in.
Oh, well, I'm going to say one for sure in is going to be Cruz.
Definitely Cruz. I think think about it. He missed like 4 races and he's still in the cut line. Like,
yeah.
This guy can definitely make it. Right. I think Sam Mayer's not gonna make it. I think Sam Mayer's gonna
You think Sam Mayer's out?
I think he's gonna choke.
Damn, okay.
There's 2 more races, right? Like there's 2 more races until the playoff starts, like for rounds. Like
the chase.
Same with trucks. The chase, or I don't know, the chase.
We gotta adapt.
The chase, the playoffs. But yeah, I think like Mayer is not safe at all. He's not safe at all. He's like what? less than 30 points away from the cut line.
I will say, like, I see the reasoning, but that's a bold thing to say when the race after this off week is Iowa, and Mayer has won there the last 2 years in a row. So it's not like he barely eked those ones out either. He dominated both those races. So, I mean, granted, he could still throw it away in that little time left. But I have to imagine if he dominates Iowa like he especially did last year, that he's going to make it. But I definitely agree. Haas are a bit off relative to where they were last year. And I think the teething issues with Chevrolet contribute to that.
I can see it. I don't like it, but I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sean, who is your for sure in, or you think they're going to choke?
My for sure in is Retzlaff. I really think he's going to keep it up for this time span. He's going to tracks that he's really good at. So I see no reason for him not to make it.
Okay. I see that. I felt like that was the stereotypical answer, so I didn't want to do it.
Well, Sammy Smith would have been the stereotypical answer because he's technically not locked in.
But I mean, I also kind of find it funny that Sammy Smith, like, Junior Motorsports kept posting pictures about being like the first 1, 2, 3, 4 in team history, and it's like one of those is not a full-time driver, and it's kind of like a backhand on them. I felt really bad seeing that because I was like, and then they posted like a picture of all 4 of the drivers, the full-time drivers / part. I don't even know what to call Carson Kvapil and Raja Karuth at this point, but I consider them to be Junior Motorsports. Beyond the point, they posted those 4, Justin, Raja, Sammy, and Carson, saying like the 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. And I'm like, do we not want to discuss that 2 of those drivers were not in it and one of them was not in your team car that weekend? Like, it feels really, really bad. And that's as a fan watching it. Cup Series, Sean?
So, my notes are not as engaging as they usually are. But the one thing is the title of my notes here is Indianapolis If It Was Gay, the Brickyard.
Brother.
But anyway, stage 1, Hocevar led from the pole until green flag pit stops began, and this will be a common theme we're going to see in this race. I mean, the Brickyard historically has always been treated as a track position focused race, but I think we'll get into our thoughts here later, but I'll just get into like what actually happened. So green flag pit stops happened. Kyle Larson took the lead in stops ahead of Hocevar and then Heim, who would have been the net position there once everything cycled out. But Larson crashed from the net lead, as he usually would. And under this caution, Noah Gragson was dooring Connor Zilic for some reason. It was for a block he did on the opening 10 laps, which is admittedly impatient, but everyone's doing it. I don't get the frustration. I digress. It was a 1-lap dash to the stage. Ty Gibbs got it. Gibbs led the next restart until green flag pit stops. Heim led a lot of laps during this span because he's a part-time guy going for the win. And Gibbs ended up cycling out into the lead ahead of Hamlin. And Daniel Dye brought out a caution on lap 96, which brought an end to the stage with Chastain up front in pit cycles. Gibbs led the way on lap 105 in the final stage. It was firmly a fight between Gibbs, Hamlin, and Heim in that exact order, and you couldn't pass. So it was basically them following each other for a while, and then a debris caution came out 10 laps later. This is where Heim actually ended up taking the lead in pit road, and then loses it on the restart. Then a crash. The marquee one, where John Hunter Nemechek drove into Ryan Blaney, not taking Blaney out. I don't want to say took Blaney out, but definitely damaged his car and allowed Todd Gilliland to take a track position lead, which, if you haven't gathered by now, is a really big advantage to have. And then the 35 lap to go restart, I wrote Corey Heim put his nuts on the dash. And this is in reference to the block he did on Denny Hamlin in the turn 2, which was crazy, but he made it work. And then it was firmly a fight between Heim and Bell in the last few laps, but Joey Logano was flying on that last stint, but could not get it there. Corey Heim gets his second career win in just 15 starts, becoming the first driver to do that since AJ Foyt in 1965.
You forgot to mention my favorite piece of the weekend. Carson Hocevar's spotter getting a heart attack because he decided to fake going to pit road just to flip off Corey Heim. I'm sorry. I'm a what the Carson Hocevar fan. But bro, look at who won the race. I'm sorry. Guess who's the guy who got to 2 career wins before you? I'm sorry. Yeah. That whole situation was so funny to me.
It was pretty funny, but mainly, what was Carson mad about? What, Heim didn't just let him through? Sorry, he's running his own race. He's not just going to let you through, despite the fact, tire offset. But again, if the offset were that significant, I know you can't pass. But surely, if it's that significant, you can pass. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I see a lot of people on social media try to discredit the Heim wins by saying, "Oh, it's these 2311 JGR cars. It's just overpowered equipment." Carson is 5th in the standings in what is a Hendrick engine car, so the 5th Hendrick car, and a car with JGR setups. Sorry, Chris Gabehart, but you definitely brought stuff there.
Is that lawsuit still going on?
Yes. And it's looking.
I haven't seen anything. It's not looking great for Spire?
Yeah.
Yikes. Rip.
Look at Daniel Suarez is in the 11th in the standings. Jeez.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess before we even get into the race, this is like a kind of an off-topic thing that has nothing to do with it much, but Hocevar in 5th, Suarez in 11th in the standings. I swear they were like 8th, like 7th and 8th, like a week ago.
They were. I was going to say, I think they were. I think Daniel just I don't think he had a great day despite starting from the front row. I think he finished. Where did he finish? I can easily check this.
I'm getting there. Hold on. Anyways, I'll pull this up. You guys, what are your thoughts on the Indianapolis Cup race?
On the Indy coverage?
On the Cup race.
Not to agree with Denny Hamlin or anything, especially in the way that he worded it. If y'all wanna see exactly how he worded it, go watch his podcast. I'm not gonna do a full plug here. But saying that it sucked, for lack of a better term. He talked about how the nose needs to be down more and the rear needs to be up so that the cars behind them can shove their nose into their rear. I wish I was pausing here. This is not me saying it. This is almost word for word what Denny said. I swear. He literally said how we need to shove our nose into their rears like they do in O'Reilly's. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. I legitimately can't be making this up. I literally just watched it like an hour ago. Well, actually not an hour ago, 2 hours ago at the time of recording, because we've already been recording for an hour. But it was literally, I just watched it. and it's crazy. But yeah. I will say I do disagree with Kyle Larson, and I also find his opinion invalid about this race and all of the races technically. How he said that NASCAR races are too long. You crashed out, sir. Your opinion is now invalid. Maybe if you can make it the full 3 hours, however long it actually is, maybe if you could last that long, then I would care about your opinion. However, you are washed, and I do not care.
So, I mean, in my opinion, I think Larson was just like he knew the Brickyard race was going to be too long. It was already bordering on an hour by the time that he was in the net lead. So he figured, like, you know what, I might be here for a while. I'm just gonna crash.
See, hold up. So he didn't even make it halfway.
No,
like, brother, go run a sprint race if that's what you want. But I do agree that the races are long. But I also think that can be helped by just cutting the stage breaks. Why are they 20 minutes long?
Well,
they do not need to be that long.
Not only cutting down on the stage breaks, but also stage cautions don't need to exist. Like
real.
Like the strategy is so. I think Gabriel had to either go do something or
the manager
turn off his camera. But anyway, I was saying the stage cautions give a very black and white feel to strategy because you either flip the stage or you go for stage points. And then when you get to the final stage, and this was kind of my issue with how the final restart played out and how those cautions were timed, add about of a bit more of running, we could have seen a fuel mileage race between Heim, Bell, and Logano, which could have made that interesting. But because of how everything fell, they could just run to the end. And that's not to discredit what Corey Heim did, because he was battling a loose race car in clean air, which is a challenge in of itself. He drove the hell out of that thing, and he should not have credit taken away from him for this win. But it's certainly one of the easier Indy wins I've seen.
Yeah. And I'm also not discrediting him. I do want to kind of bring up an interesting topic that I saw, since we have lost Gabriel, so we can't get his thoughts on it for right now. We are not giving you shit, Gabriel. You're fine. But it has been vocal that Corey Heim is supposed to be taking the 35 next year. However, now that he has 2 wins under his belt, I wonder if they're going to start thinking maybe we have him keep the 67. Also, because my brain likes how the numbers look. You have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you have 2, 3, 3, 5, 4, 5, I don't like that. That is so stupid. I'm sorry. Please keep it sequential. My OCD brain loves it.
I agree, but 2311 did not choose to not run the 67 for Corey Heim. It was actually, as revealed in Hamlin's podcast too, Corey Heim decided it. Corey Heim did not want to do the 6-7 car for that exact reason of what you just did, because he thinks that the number is pretty childish. Which, I mean, well, is it the butt of jokes right now, and has been the butt of a joke for longer than I personally thought it was going to be? Maybe, but also you've built a part-time identity with it. I just, the 35 is not an aura number.
No, and it doesn't do any wonders to the team. I really do think that having the numbers be in sequential order is actually really good for brand. Like, brand identity. I'm mixing my brain with breakdowns, my guy. Don't ever give me. I start getting all scholarly over here. But my point literally stands that the numbers actually going together like this is a lot better to market than if you have a random number like 35. Like, it has no use. Like, it has no significance, as far as I was aware, to 2311, to Denny Hamlin specifically to Michael Jordan, I don't think it really has any significance. So why change the number when he's already won races with it? I agree with your point that he has made an identity tied to it now. And at the end of the day, to be fair, the 6-7 meme does not really exist anymore. We just kind of keep dragging it out randomly here. I don't ever see it anymore. Except like 2 different times, like in the last month. And both of them were when Corey Haim won. So at least you have something funny to do. I think I'm thinking ahead. If he were to continue doing as well as he is easily going to overwrite the 6-7 meme, especially in the NASCAR community. That's what I think. Damn. You got anything you want to add on that, or?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to add that's significant.
Yeah. Like what if does 35 have to do with anything? Like, it's not cool.
So I looked it up.
Resident stat checker over here.
Michael Jordan wore the number when he played baseball, which it's kind of before you say anything, it's super ironic that the 35 was the one he used to symbolize the baseball career, which famously sucked. And it's a car that was piloted by Riley Hurst.
You know what? Deserved. Also, I've heard that Riley could potentially be going to Legacy.
I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll have to ask my friend about that, but I'm pretty sure it's either going to be Legacy. He's staying in the Cup Series, but
yeah,
it's likely going to be Legacy. But we'll have to see. Oh, Gabriel's back.
He's in a car now.
Took a little drive.
Where are you at now? You're not at Tim Hortons.
Yeah, I'm about to pick up.
Don't say that.
Someone. I'm about to pick up someone.
See, we could make a joke, but I won't make a joke. This is so going in the bloopers. God. We were just talking shit. I don't know exactly how much I heard of it.
Every bit of it. I heard every bit
sick.
of it. I was driving, and I had you guys on speakerphone.
Wait, so what you're hearing here live, guys, is that Sean is willing to commit to pregame to listening to the Breaking Points podcast. Gabe is willing to drive listening to our podcast. So y'all should also be doing all this shit listening to us. I wish I had a car. Fuck my life, bro. Anyways, our picks for the weekend. Notoriously bad except for one. Gabe, you had Denny Hamlin, so you finished in 5th. Congratulations. Yay. Now, you would think that Sean would be next with Bubba Wallace. But no, he was in 28th. Of all the people to do better than you, of course, it had to be Austin Cindric in 14th. That's unfortunate for you. Now, the best part about this is I could decide to not talk about it, but I feel like I must because it now has a funny hashtag with it for the in-season challenge. Gabe and I were wrong. I will admit we were wrong. And that is because John Hunter Nemechek decided to make enemies with us. Dude, that move was unnecessary. I'm just going to call it right there. I'll call a spade a spade. That move was unnecessary, but it led to a Millie for Gilly. Have you seen that? Or is that just my friend's chat that just keeps blowing up a Millie for Gilly?
I see it. I've seen it around. Yeah, Todd Gilliland does the upset. I don't know what more there is to add because it's just so unfortunate that the race was so uneventful because there really isn't much more to add. It was a very
Yeah.
blasé run for Todd, and he got it.
I will say something that's really funny in celebration for Todd getting this monumental sum of money. Instead of doing like a money bag for my Dex chat, the owners decided to make a pickle themed card for him. Why is it pickle themed? Good question. I don't know. But it's pickle themed. I do not have it. I wish I did, but I did not catch it. I got an Adam Petty though, so at least I win something. But yay. We need to go into the standings, right? Or did we kind of already talk about them? We kind of discussed it a little bit.
I only talked about Hocevar and Suarez, who, are 5th and 11th. But the top 4 are locked into the chase, Hamlin and the lead, Reddick, Blaney, and then Gibbs. Hocevar, as I mentioned, in 5th, followed by Elliott, who moves down a spot. I forgot to mention, he had a flat at the beginning of stage 2, and he pretty much went out of the race from that point on. So he's in 6th. Briscoe in 7th, Larson 8th, Busher 9th, Christopher Bell rounds out the top 10 with a 6th runner-up finish on the season. Daniel Suarez in 11th. Sorry, Gabe. William Byron, surprisingly, in 12th. Joey Logano continues his move up the standings in 13th. Bubba Wallace in 14th. SVG 15th, down to the cut loss. Austin Cindric. And then we have about 38 points back, Ryan Preece in 17th. And then 44 points back, Eric Jones in 18th. We got an off week coming up, so I can't preview a race for you. I was about to say we have nothing planned, but we do have an episode planned. It's just not going to be a race report or anything like that, like the conventional style. It's the one off week we get this season. So we're going to enjoy it, hopefully deliver you all something you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Boo. Wait. Pause. I think I forgot to record. Nope, I'm recording. Sick. I think.
Holy.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Freaking heart
Fire.
attack.
Hey, it could have been worse. Like, I mean, thank God we have not gotten to the part where it's at the very end. There's been a couple times where I definitely thought I should text you guys like 30 minutes after we record and just be like, hey guys, so I forgot to hit record. Can we run this back? I've thought about it, but I haven't. You're welcome. I could start our own prank war, but it's a little hard when we're 3 different places. So if we ever meet up, God hope we don't meet up.
I seriously couldn't bear being in the same room as you two.
Absolutely not. I would never. Oh my God, this is crazy. Actually, I don't even know what would happen if we were in a room. Like, I feel like we would all be hella awkward.
Well, yeah, it's always if you meet people who you only know online, it's always awkward at first, but then you realize, oh wait, actually, we know this person. It's actually chill.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I'm still gonna go to the fact that you're like above 6'1". I think you said you were over 6'1", right?
Yeah, I'm roughly that.
See, like in my brain, you're 5'8" at most. And I think I've said that before. So also, we've learned that I'm comfortable with telling tall people that they give off short energy. I've said it to a few people at this point. But that's beyond the point. I don't even Gabe, should I tell you how tall I think you are?
Sure.
Don't be mad. You give off 5'6".
I am exactly that height.
Let's go, baby. Okay, so my height radar is okay 50% of the time.
It evens out now. Like you were pretty off with me, but for Gabriel, you were spot on.
I was gonna say, actually, my height radar is about 33% correct because I told Taylor Gray that he gave off short energy and he is also like 6'1". Sorry, Taylor, if you ever see this. You don't give off short energy anymore. Now that I've seen you in person, you are not short. I think your brother is, though, and I will still stand by that fact. Can I get a state?
It will absolutely give it away. This race, this was Kyle Busch's last race at this track.
Dover?
Yes.
Brother, how would Dover? You think I know cities and states?
Delaware?
Dover? If you had, I wouldn't have guessed Dover from Delaware. I would have been like, what racetrack is in Dover or Delaware?
That's funny.
We'll do it next week. How about that?
That sounds good.
Because then it also gives me a chance to think. Because I know exactly who I think is gonna choke. And now that he's gone, I can say that I think Christopher Bell is gonna choke.
No, he won't.
I think so. Don't you know this guy has the Kirk curse?
It's genuinely crazy. Like, it's not just Bell who has it. Oscar Piastri has had it. Like,
oh my god. No, Oscar has never dedicated a win to Charlie Kirk.
Well, I mean that, but I'm saying like Oscar hasn't done anything since pre-Kirk death.
Yeah. Which, funny enough, people are comparing Oscar Piastri to Corey Haim, and one of their main arguments is that their girlfriends are more interesting than them. And I'm like, damn, that's the shit though. Taylor and Lily, they're great. They're a lot more interesting. They both have college degrees. They're automatically interesting.
I'll take all three reports this weekend.
You'll do all three of them? Cool. I'll be in Vegas. So
cool. So you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, sick. Thank you. Make sure you can actually. Why is it a fish pick? Okay. Corey Haim and Oscar Piastri are the same guy in different fonts. A thesis by my friend. They are both brown-haired white guys, and it shows pictures of them. And the picture that she chose of Corey Haim is him holding a fish, which I feel like is very representative. They both do this thing called meeping, which is a closed mouth smile when they're just like. They both do the same thing, and I didn't realize it until looking at these pictures. They both have success in lower series. They both replaced the cool guy on their team, in Oscar replacing Daniel and Corey replacing Riley. She is a Riley Herbst fan, so that's why she put that in there. Not like he's cool or anything. They both have success in the top series. Their girlfriends are way cooler than them. And there's 3 different slides on describing why Lily and Taylor are cooler than them.
That's interesting.
So funny. It's so funny. They both have feuds with coworkers, and Oscar and his problems with Carlos Sainz, and Corey with everyone. They have weird old man mentors with Mark Webber and Denny Hamlin. That's all she put on here. Oh, who also... So they have the weird old man mentors who also had a feud with a younger rival in the 2010s. And her comparison is Mark Webber's feud against Sebastian Vettel and Denny Hamlin's feud against Chase Elliott. Adios. Bye-bye.
Bye.